Hey, welcome to the Car Talk Show. We're going to get on a few serious notes today. First, we want to say we're going to give out our prayers to the poor girl named Amy that passed away yesterday at Howard High School. How can I put this? This is a sad case. I kind of don't even want to get too detailed into it, but I thought it was like a sad case, and I do pray for that girl's family. You got any words, sir?
Yeah, it's just crazy what's going on, and especially in these young high school kids. For them to be young high school kids to behave the way they did, and to behave the way they did afterwards, it's crazy.
Yeah, like this generation, man. I don't know. Like I said before, it's not everybody in this generation. It is certain parts or certain people. I may say that they're being raised the wrong way. And their parents are teaching them certain things, and then they glorify violence because of certain things they see on social media. So a lot of these kids are becoming gullible, and they think this stuff is cool. And then like the fights, that you see on Facebook randomly and stuff like that, like that's not cool. Like that stuff has to stop. And it's cool that we're talking about it now. We're trying to promote positivity, but it has to be more of a outrage, and hopefully things do start to change. Like I said before, like the best thing I can do is pray. But other than that, we're gonna have to start peeping some game, man. People out here, we gotta peep the game and learn how to work as people.
Yeah, I just think it's like with the news and all that stuff, all they ever do is when this thing happened at Howard, they jumped on it. They're super excited to see something crazy going on in these neighborhoods, and they don't ever want to show the positivity or promote like what some of the coaches and other people are doing for their community to give back. They don't ever want to do that stuff. It's always as soon as some robbery or somebody gets shot or somebody gets beat up in the high school bathroom, they are ready to go do that. But if there was more positivity on the news, maybe that would spread and everybody would be, I don't know, young kids would be looking at all the positive stuff on the news, and that just starts their day off positively and not want to go to school and go fight somebody over some boy or something, whatever the reason is.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. So you're saying basically, out here in Delaware, we got a great man called R.I.P who helps out people that leave high school, especially if they couldn't get into a good college. They could play football for his team and move on to help play for another college or something like that. But basically, like you're saying, it's like if they show stuff that how Coach Haney, what things he did, and if they put that on the news and stuff like what Steve Harvey do and Ellen do and all these other people in different cities and different states and everything, different towns, that's being real positive. If they show them every day on the news, that's trying to make the world a better place, people like me and you, then it makes a massive impact. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, instead of always wanting to show, I don't know, when Kylie gets a nose job or something stupid. It's always something dumb on the news or somebody get into a fight. It's never anything like that. Like Coach Haney deserves to have been getting recognized way before any of this stuff happened.
Yeah.
College kids for the past 3 years.
Yeah, you're right. Like you said, I feel like he should have been got recognition because I know he's been trying to, especially with the funding. I remember when he started the funding page for his football team,
yeah,
and he contacted different news outlets and stuff, and they weren't even reaching back. I'm like, darn. But if he had said something like, oh, "Okay, this boy just got shot on my football team," they'd have been right there. Yeah.
He would have went and hit one of the players. And everybody with him.
Why do you think
positive?
Go ahead.
I don't know. Just because he's doing something positive, it's not as appealing, or it's not going to draw as much attention. So they're not trying to give him the recognition he deserves. My man he didn't have a car for a while. He was walking to the practices. From his that's crazy to me, and he's not getting recognition for that. But I don't know.
Yeah, anybody that's listening to this show, they definitely should check out this. They definitely should check out people like Rodney Caney and Coach Rashawn Matthews and Coach Horsey and stuff like that. They really change people's lives, and the list goes on with other coaches and teachers throughout, especially the U.S. And they definitely should get the respect they deserve and the promotion they deserve. When I say promotion, I mean like outlets they deserve, people by touching people and teaching them how to become better people. But I've been trying to wrap this around my head, like how come violence sells so much here in America? I've been always trying to wrap around my head that, and then like some people that say, well, you know, it always has since the beginning of time, but that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like something that like brings everybody. It's nothing positive that comes from that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember when I was little, my mom used to always see the news on the TV all the time, and I would hate it because there was always something crazy going on. She said, "You got to know what's going on in the world," but I know there was good stuff going on at the same time, but it just wasn't being covered.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. You know what? That you made a great point. Cause one time in one of my classes, I can't remember which class, but one of my college professors, he was talking to us about like ISIS and stuff like that. And he asked us if we knew anything about like ISIS or any bombings that happened recently. And one girl said, she don't like to watch the news and stuff. And he said, "Oh, why?" And she said, "Because it's always like negativity, and it just brings her down." And he was like, "Well, that's cool and all, but like you gotta watch the news because that way you can keep up with what's going on. Because if you don't, then the negativity is gonna eventually like be right there as soon as you turn around and stuff." But like, I kind of disagree with him, but I kind of understood what he was talking about, and it was just like, dang, like you really don't have to watch the news, but at the same time, it's like, if somebody say like America's being under attack, you probably won't know. But well, you know what? If you old and you're not watching the news and you don't got no smartphone, you won't know. But if you got a smartphone, you automatically gonna know. So you know what? I do understand where that girl coming from. Like sometimes you just don't want to see this crazy stuff on the news. Like if I gotta turn on the channel like CNN and NBC and stuff, and I see something crazy, I'm like, man, let me just go on my phone and let me just read a book. You feel me? It's just like crazy.
It's almost like brainwashing or something. Like I'm not saying it's like brainwashing because you wake up and the first thing you see on the news is people are getting jumped and stabbed and raped and dying in the street, and right next door to you somebody is doing something like letting someone into their home because they didn't have a place to go, but they're not being covered on the news. And if the kids are growing up just watching all this craziness on the news, then they're going to just always be, they're affected by it in their spirit. It's just all over them. They're thinking negatively throughout their day, and then they can't go do something positive because they don't think that that's going to be recognized or whatever.
Yeah. Man, I know you could sympathize with me on this. I can't think of ever like getting so mad at somebody to the point where I beat them up to like they can't even move. You feel me? Like to like I got in fights before, but it never got into like the point where I was insane. It was like I don't care if this person gonna be done. Like you feel me? Like at that point you just insane. You know?
I don't know. I know where you're coming from. I don't need to fight anybody. I don't feel like that's, for the most part, that doesn't solve any problems. I know there's sometimes you just gotta put your foot down and make something happen, but it's otherwise, I don't know. It's just the way that everybody's raised and the social media, the world star hip hop, and all this other craziness.
Yeah, you're right, and especially if you grown, you don't need to be fighting at all. Like if somebody trying to mess with me nowadays, then I'm freaking 22 years old. Somebody trying to mess with me, and it's getting out of hand. I'm just gonna call the cops.
Back on stage, my microphone is on. Speaking of sampling, what do you think of sampling?
Thank you, Prince, for for honoring me tonight, and thank you so much to the NAACP.
Seth, the other day, well, yesterday, when I was driving on my lunch break, you had texted me and told me that Prince had died, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, hold on, like, not Prince, like, he must be talking about somebody in royalty or something. It can't be Prince.
Yeah.
Like, we just talking about my boy Prince. And for those of you that don't know, when we were talking about Prince, I was just like, yeah, Prince could wear like girls' clothes and still take somebody's wife. Like, that's it's just like, dang, man. And I was like, Prince the man, and it just sad, man, because like I haven't felt this way since Michael died, yo.
Yeah, like, I mean, I always listened to Michael Jackson when I was growing up. I never listened to Prince, so I think it's just crazy because he's only 57.
Yeah, and he was a vegan. And you know what, man? Well, it was too many news stories coming out. First they said, okay, it was the flu. Then they said it probably was an overdose. Then they said it was, they quickly said it was probably like some type of sexual transmitted disease. Then they coming up with all this crazy stuff. And like, I'm like, something don't sound right. It's like that Michael thing to me. And see, I grew up, I was a big Michael Jackson fan, but at the same time I did listen to Prince, and I loved his songs like Purple Rain, When Doves Cry, Kiss. I'm not gonna embarrass you. The thing, I can sing some songs, but I'm not gonna embarrass myself singing some Prince songs. Like, that's the thing. Like, I know the song, but I can't sing it. Damn, man. And I felt bad for the major Prince fans. Like, I know my aunt, she's like a major Prince fan. Like, she got his albums, she went to his concerts and stuff. So it's just like, I know how they feel, because that's how I felt when Mike passed, man. It was just like, well, you know what though? You know what's crazy? I know Heaven jamming right now. Like, they got James Brown, Michael, and Prince, Whitney. Like, they probably having a ball up there, dog. If you think about it, they probably having a ball right now. So that's pretty cool. And like, if we want to look on a positive note, but like,
yeah, I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, I every time like a major celebrity pass, I'll be thinking about it like that. And like, to me, those were the major '80s stars, like Michael Jackson, Whitney, and Prince. All we got left is Madonna and what's the name, that Cindy girl, and Stevie Nicks. Lauper, and Stevie Nicks. We got a couple, you know, but it's like, damn, like that's like that trio right there, though. Michael, Whitney, and Prince.
But I wasn't like about to cry or something. I mean, I wasn't gonna cry for any of them because I don't know them. But like,
yeah, I feel you. It didn't hit you as hard. Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, for me it was like, let me see. You already know about I just told y'all about the Michael situation. But like at the same time, like my mom, my aunt, and my uncle, like they love Prince. And they were all, and the thing is, I'm a big Chris Rock fan too, and Dave Chappelle fan, and they were, when they talked about Prince, you know, like it gave me another media outlet to him, and I would listen to him whenever they brought him up. Like, I remember that everybody remembers the Dave Chappelle skit about Prince, the basketball thing. You remember that? Yeah. That's the funniest damn skit of all time. Like, and it turns out he was actually good at basketball. And then Chris Rock, I know everybody's Chris. He dressed up for Prince for Halloween. He interviewed Prince. Chris Rock did, and he had Prince on. I mean, Prince was on Saturday Night Live when Chris Rock was hosting it, and I watched that entire show. And and I just love Prince too, 'cause I respect how he got girls like with no problem. I love his confidence, and I didn't care about what people thought about him. And I think that's what I was always intrigued by Prince. That's me. Like, I always was like, dang, man, this dude really got confidence out here. My boy could walk out in high heels and know he could take your girl. Like, he really was not care. Yeah, he's really getting girls. I'm like, what the freak, man? He getting girls with no problem. Speaking of Michael Jackson, what's your favorite Michael Jackson album?
My favorite joint, for real, I know this is probably weird, I'm probably the only person to say this, but was Invincible.
Oh, Invincible?
Invincible, that's what I said.
Okay.
But that's just because I was really like one of the only ones I was alive that really, I don't remember if I don't know how old I was exactly, but I remember that one for the whole time I was growing up. As soon as it came out, and I knew every song up there, and that was my jam.
Yeah, you know what? My favorite one was Thriller, but I do understand the Invincible part that you're talking about because we were like 7 years old in second grade when that came out, and so I remember the whole Rush Hour, like Rush Hour 2 had came out around the same time, and Chris Tucker and Michael was always hanging out, and I remember watching Michael Jackson's concert on CBS, I believe. The 30th anniversary.
Yeah, the live one. I remember that too.
And my boy Usher was on there, and I was already a big Usher fan, so like, I loved Mike. I was like, oh my goodness, Mike, man, and you rock my world. Every time that video came on, I wanted to dance to it, like, and I love when the song came on. I used to try to I pretend I was gonna sing it to a girl when I got to school, but I was too scared to. But yeah, man.
Well, yeah, Michael Jackson, the Break It Dawn, all those, man, that was a good album, I think.
Yeah, Break It Dawn. I love Break It Dawn, Butterflies, Heaven Can Wait, You Rock My World, and then Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites off that album. But I think I love Thriller so much is because it got shoved down my throat so much, and I heard it on the radio. Like, no matter what radio station I was turned on, it could be a pop, R&B, sometimes even rap. I heard a Thriller song. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I always heard a Thriller song. Like, I know the Thriller song, Human Nature, Billie Jean, Wanna Be Starting Something, The Lady in My Life, Baby Be Mine, The Girl Is Mine. Like, yo, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah,
like PYT, like he had straight banger after banger after banger on, and he wasn't playing no games. No wonder like the album sold so much, cause like you don't get tired of a song on there at all. It's crazy.
I feel you. Those are all. It's crazy because I think that whole album. I mean, at least half of them go on the radio in circulation.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. I know at least I know Thriller was in the top 10, Beat It was in the top 10, Billie Jean was in the top 10. I Wanna Be Started Something, Human Nature, like dude, and then
PYT definitely is.
Yeah, too. PYT, and then Baby Be Mine and the lady in My Life. That they didn't even get released as singles, but they still were hits because people had it on a record player. You know what I mean? So it was just like people knew the damn song. And it was like, yo, like that's how you know, like you just a straight genius right there.
The Purple Rain song, and then I heard that was the first song that popped in my head when I heard it. I think that's for everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody was putting Purple out and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I guess that was the main one. And then I did like Kiss and When Doves Cry, but other than that, I don't know a whole bunch of Prince songs, but then when I hear them, I know it's Prince, and I know the song then. I can't think of a whole bunch off the top of my head because I wasn't a super huge fan of his, growing up anyway. Yeah,
exactly. Yo, I said, and the thing is, that's exactly how I felt because the same thing with Michael, right? I was a big Thriller fan, for that whole album though, and because like I said, the radio I played a lot, even VH1 and MTV music videos, they play the whole Thriller thing a lot, they threw it in your face all the time, and then we saw Invincible. So basically, I knew Thriller and Invincible Michael himself. That's how I seen him. But they never really showed Bad, Dangerous, and stuff like that until I became a mega fan even before his death. When I was actually watching his videos on YouTube, that was the only way when I could see Mike. You feel me? So I grown to love Bad and Dangerous and all that before his death. People, so they won't think I'm a bandwagon fan. But when he died, a lot of people, especially the young people, they didn't know what Bad and Dangerous was, and then they were like, "Oh, okay, I remember hearing this song once or twice or something," and they were like, "I didn't know." Now they know the names of the songs and stuff because he's been dead for so long and they've been playing it. But before then, they ain't know it and stuff. So what's gonna happen with Prince is everybody gonna know his songs and stuff by next week because it's gonna be all his albums and stuff gonna be being played.
Everybody
on
all of a sudden gonna be crying on Facebook videos and stuff about Prince. They didn't know any of his songs until this week.
Yeah.